Welcome along, everyone, to what is episode 6 of No Silver Linings. I am your keeper, Mark, and with me, as always, is this group of investigators that are getting into more and more trouble as the investigation, well, half the group is. But we'll get to that in just a moment. Where we have left off in episode 5 was deciding on the next steps. So it was decided that both Professor Miles and Ulick O'Shea, who have now formed this duo to continue the questioning towards Peter Houlihan, while Benson Cartwright and Charlie Mitchell went back to town into the library to see if they could find some more information on the mining operations from back in 1917, and also more on this silver nitrate, which we recently found out that was the actual cause of death for Jack Sullivan, not the gunshot wound. In Charlie and Benson's studies, they found that lethal doses of this silver nitrate can indeed turn the skin and lips of a person blue, a detail which they have heard of already. Jack's body was discovered in a similar state, although in a more advanced state of decay, as he's been dead for 10 weeks. As Ulick and Professor Miles walked down towards Houlihan's house, Ulick stopped and remembered that, or he didn't. He knew he always had this brass key that he found in Jack's room the night before, but wanted to do so without the prying eyes of Jack's brother Cahill in the house. So back they went. They backtracked back to the Sullivan house, only to find that the door had been locked by the responsible homeowner, Mr. Sullivan himself. So Ulick, upon discovering that the windows had been locked, took a ladder and climbed to the roof to descend the chimney, and in doing so lost his footing and came crashing down, breaking his left arm. But Professor Miles managed to, with a surge of adrenaline and strength, open up one of the windows and come to Ulick's aid, and in doing so they found what they were looking for. A sheet of paper of the old mining site back in 1917, although it seemed to have been scribbled over with some updates onto the map and dated January 1918. And after throwing a random chicken that was found in the backyard to kind of, I suppose, pin the crime on, both Ulick and Professor Miles went back into the village, and I'm sure there's a Legend of Zelda reference in there somewhere, but we'll leave that up to everyone's imagination. So before we jump back into things, let's introduce our characters this evening. Dave, you're up.
Hey, hi, I am Dave, and I'm for the Emerald Collective. I'm DM for the Software Saga and Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel over on our Twitch streams. But tonight, Matthew, I will be playing Ulick O'Shea, who's also known as Ulick the Tick, and he's a local of Silvermines, who is mostly considered mad in the head by everyone who knows him. Ulick was a member of the Royal Irish Regiment and fought in the trenches of World War I, where something particularly horrific happened to him, and he was eventually found and judged to be stark raving mad, the only one remaining in the trenches, and was given a dose of electroshock therapy and sent back to Silvermines, where his mother took one look at him and had a stroke and died. And since then he's just been obsessed with the puka and the scoopa.
Very good, thank you. Next up then we have Ryan.
Hi guys, I'm Ryan, aka Deranged Rhino, as you probably know by now, and this evening I am playing Professor Montgomery Miles, and he's a learned man. He's a man of high education and enjoys looking into the minds of people and what might drive them crazy, which I think is what has drawn him to Ulick, since though he is obviously suffering from some form of PTSD. And you could also say that I might be a bit of a chick instigator right now. So yes, breaking and entering is apparently now part of my job too.
Added to the CV. Thank you, sir. Next up then we have Keith.
Hello, my name is Keith. I am actually also a player on Dave's Journeys adjacent to the Radiant Citadel, over on our Emerald Collective Twitch stream. So check us out over there. I am tonight controlling Charles Charlie Mitchell, a local gentrified landowner who has an interest in the occult, written a few books, and has come down here to check things out. He thought there might be some excitement, but it turns out he's spending most of his time in the library reading, while the others are having Three Stooges types shenanigans. But if I know anything about Call of Cthulhu and our wonderful keeper, that won't stay boring for long.
I'm glad I've managed to build a reputation for myself. That you need. But yes, you're right. In Call of Cthulhu, forewarned is forearmed. Last but not least, then we have Dean.
Hello, I am Dean, and I am also known as Dino Bags. I met these guys as we all fought over who was the best Power Ranger. I went for red, but whatever.
I mean, it's quite clearly black, right?
If it ain't blue, it won't do.
I am playing Vincent Cartwright, and he has a very keen interest in anything otherworldly, possibly occult. He's read about them a lot, wants to see them, maybe once. And he's very interested about the foul play here in Silvermines.
Very nice. And I think we'll be uncovering more foul play as the time goes on. So, the curtain shall come up in Nina Library, and our very out of shape Carl Sullivan has just rushed in with some... he seemed to try to catch his breath as he gives news to you that he's visited the reporter. He goes, here, take this, and he hands you a kind of rolled up piece of paper that I will share with you in just a moment. And he says, I was talking to that gentleman, the police, they weren't much help at all. They're going nowhere with the investigation, but this man had a bit of knowledge to share, and I hope you don't mind, but I indulged him with some of our findings as of the last couple of days, or well, for you gentlemen, the last 24 hours. But
no, of course, it's your information. It's your personal business, of course.
And he hands you this map that I'm going to share with you. This is a map of the project site for the resource mining in the Silvermines of January 1917. It looks... Now, you obviously haven't seen the one that Professor Montgomery Miles picked up, but just as talking as a general keeper to the players, this is the exact same map without the markings. So the site office is where the site office originally was. It's not scribbled out and put over location 4 of the drilling site. There's no January 1918 date written on it. It's just the map as it was when it was freshly printed without the hand-drawn notes over it. He says, what's interesting about this is when I was mentioning about the goings on in the mines, and he was speaking to me about the works up there a couple of years ago and how they abruptly ended and the likes. He handed me this map. He's been doing some research and stumbled across that himself. But I shared the information about the silver nitrates, and he actually told me that there would be records of these high levels of silver nitrate deposit in the mine. So I think I remain somewhat convinced that Jack's death has something to do with the mines. He was definitely in there if it was silver nitrate poisoning. I rushed over here to tell you this as quickly as possible, for fear of you wanting to venture up there a little prematurely. It's best that some precautions are taken if we are to venture up into that old derelict mine.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, this is. So forgive me. I just have a look at this map. So this is the inside of the mine, is it?
No. This is the actual open plan of the site itself. So these markings here, and he pointing at the triangles on the map labeled 1 through 6. These are open. These are the shafts that the drilling was performed in 1917. So these actually go. This map is exposed to the open air, but when you go inside these tunnels, then you're going subsurface. But the circular ones are closed mines from back in the 1870s. They're all been demolished and caved in or what have you, inaccessible anyway, and they're closed. But the triangular ones are still very much open, but abandoned, if you will.
And just for people listening at home, I suppose, to describe the map, it's, as you say, it's a picture of the outside site, which is presumably Silvermines up in the mountains. So it's a picture of the mountains. There's a dotted line kind of coming in at the edge of the map. There's 2 Silvermines, which is presumably Silvermines, the village.
The exit, yeah.
Comes in, kind of goes around a raised area in the center, and then dots out to kind of the edges of the mountains. And there's a bunch of numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and those are all drilling sites. There's a couple of circles which indicate closed mines, and there's 1 site office. Again, to metagame, the other map we've seen is the exact same thing, but this map is it's printed and it says January 1917. The other one in pen or in pencil or whatever says January 1918, and the site office has been moved from location 4 to from where it is to locate drilling site 4. So there's been the guys have an updated version of the map, and we have this, which would have been presumably the original official version of the map. Excellent. Yes, well, this is okay. I think yes, we should definitely go head up there and check it out. I think
this is a profound piece of evidence. We may have discovered where indeed Jack met his unfortunate demise. It must have been surely inside of the mine if it was poisoning by silver nitrate. Surely.
I fully agree. Is there somewhere in the village we can? I recommend your idea about the protection. Can we get maybe some masks, gas masks, or gloves, or something to that effect?
Let me look into that for you, and surely we will not allow anyone to venture into those mines if there's lethal doses of chemicals in there.
Absolutely, yes. And we'll share whatever information we got with him about the silver nitrate. There's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
And yes, I recommend. Benson, what do you think? Back to town, meet the boys, and head up into the hills?
I suggest yes. Let's maybe grab a bottle for the way.
Capital idea.
Very well. And around the time after you've stopped off for whatever it is you need to get on the way back to Silvermines, Professor Ulick.
Sorry, can I just one thing? Sorry.
Yeah, of course. Sorry.
Can I do maybe an occult check or something? I think that Charlie would have, in his head, maybe he's trying to piece together what this potentially might be, and the suggestion from Cahill that we get some sort of protection. I know that my man Benson is rocking a sidearm, but is there, like, will Charlie kind of go, oh, this could be vampires, I should get some stakes, or werewolves, need some silver bullets? Is there anything in his head, he's like, a cult, what could this be, and kind of get it in the town?
Like, I mean, if your character would naturally think, go to that kind of train of thought, like, you don't need to roll anything. Like, if his rationale would be to automatically, a guy got poisoned, it's vampires or it's X, Y, or Z. If it's that's his natural response, then no need to roll for it. But if you're like trying to string together pieces of evidence to see if this is some sort of like cultish thing going on.
No, I don't think he'd say like vampires or werewolves, but I suppose his interest in the occult is what brought him here, kind of in the first place. So since he got here, he's like, what could this be? And if I know what I think it could be, then he's in his head, he's like, we're heading up to something weird. Is there anything he can do to prepare for that? And I suppose I'm not thinking off the top of my head. I don't know. I think maybe the masks maybe or something like that. But which you probably, no, I think it's just strips of cloth, really. I mean, they're not going to have like pre-made, COVID masks in the early 1920s.
Yeah, like, I'm sure you can there'd be somewhere in town where you could procure a few gas masks, like, kind of more industrial rather than casual use gas masks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The one with the best quality you can get in 1919 Ireland.
Yeah, and I suppose if we're going to mines, maybe actually a kind of a local general store, a shop or something, and getting maybe some rope and some torches.
Sure, that's
general
totally fine.
Kind of, that kind of stuff.
I take it everyone's kind of daily spending limit is enough to procure those kind of small enough items. The gas mask will cost you a bit, but
Yeah, Charlie's got a credit rating of 50.
You're good.
Dumped a lot of points into that because he's kind of like landed gentry, so he's got a big house.
That's fair. Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's
Spending levels 50. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, that's definitely.
Cash is 14 million and 72.
So yeah, other than that, sorry, we're happy to bounce and head
Perfect.
back and
No
meet the guys.
problem at all. You can deduct about we'll say you're picking up 4 gas masks, a couple of lengths of rope, a few torches.
Sounds like a good weekend.
Sounds like a good weekend.
Benson wants to pick up a couple of bottles with either a heavy liquor in it or gasoline or something to chuck and set fire.
Okay, between the two of you, you can deduct 11 pounds from your daily spending. Perfecto. So yeah, as you're procuring those few items, Ulick and Professor Miles. Ulick, you're still in a considerable amount of pain.
I fucking know. Why did you put a chicken in the fucking house?
So it would hopefully, hide the evidence that you'd fell down the chimney and busted your arm.
I'm not sure how a chicken in the house goes. Right, anyway, let's just go.
Because it's going to, move all the soot around and stuff. So make it look like it just fell down the chimney instead of a person
have gotten up
that should
to
be
the
able to hold
fucking
on
roof
to the
in
bricks.
the first place?
I don't know. How would a person have fallen down a chimney?
Well, because they climbed up on the roof with a fucking ladder. You telling me now the chicken went down the back shed, got a fucking step ladder, brought it up to the fucking house, climbed up the fucking thing and jumped down the fucking chimney?
I'll have you know it's a common misconception that chickens cannot fly. They can indeed fly.
They can jump high, they can't fly.
Well, maybe jumped in the tree first. I don't know, but I was trying to save your ass. Maybe I'd leave you there next
I
time.
should have said my fucking elbow. But right, all right, come on, let's go.
Just to confirm, where are we going?
It's supposed to meet. Oh yeah, sorry, we were going to go to your man's house, weren't we?
Houlihan's?
Yeah, sorry.
Just wanted to double check.
Meet Houlihan.
Yeah.
Okay. As you arrive at the rather poorly kept yard of Peter Houlihan's house, the grass is quite tall. It almost reaches your knees. There's more thorny bushes as opposed to actual flowers or plants potted around the place. And you can see that not only are the curtains drawn in the windows of Peter Houlihan's bungalow, but there's also like newspapers kind of stuck up to the panes of the glass. So the curtains are drawn, but then in front of that, pressed up against the glass, are these newspapers. So someone really wants to be left to their own devices privately, so they don't want anyone looking in by the looks of it. But it's a shoddy looking bungalow. One of the gutters at the front of the house is kind of snapped off and it's kind of hanging down and it's kind of swaying gently in the breeze, the morning breeze.
Tell me, Mr. Master Chimney Climber, do you want to try this chimney as well, or should we just knock on the door?
I'd like to knock on the door.
Okay, right. And I'll go up and knock on the door.
Okay, while you're knocking on the door, Professor Miles, Ulick, can I ask you to make a spot hidden check, please?
Spot hidden, I have 45, so I need to roll D100 and roll under 45. That's a 62.
And sorry, before you roll, I'll ask Professor Miles to make a hard spot hidden because you're kind of so you can roll as well, but you need a hard success pass because you're already kind of focusing on one other thing.
Nope. I got a 41 out of 12.
What I need 20 out of my luck, would I? Oh, fuck all luck left.
But yeah, okay, no, that's fine. You knock on the door and you wait. Nothing.
Mr. Houlihan, we know you're in there. We're trying to investigate what happened with the mines and the shooting and stuff. We know you have more information to give, and I know that the constabulary in town probably wouldn't listen to you too much, but I can assure you we are just looking for the truth. So please, if you could help, if you could give us any information that might lead to us finding out what truly happened, I would appreciate it. I'm like kind of saying that through the door to try and get him to open up.
After he does that, I'd like to listen if I can, see if there's any.
Yeah, I was going to say Benson wants to go to the sides of the house and listen.
Benson's not there yet.
Oh, bugger.
So
If there's
Professor
anyone
Miles,
sort of moves around after he says something, or if there's any sort of noises.
Yep. So firstly, Professor Miles, can you make an extreme persuade roll? You will need an extreme success.
1.
Oh, this ain't never gonna happen. Okay.
Oh, there's always a chance.
Like I said, never. 26 out of 2.
Okay, so yeah, you don't hear anything, and Ulick, I might ask you for that listen roll now, if you like.
Yeah, coming at you, like Cleopatra. Boom. No. That's all the
you-
fucking tinnitus from the
Yeah,
trenches.
yeah. You got soot in your ear.
That is
Yeah,
70
there's-
out of 20.
No answer at the door. You
A lot of
hear
failures in
any
this section.
movement within. Sometimes failures are good, but it almost seems like nobody's home. Then you hear this voice from behind you. Hello, yes, hi. And you turn, you see the woman next door is outside her front door, and she's kind of giving you this kind of toodaloo kind of wave with her hand, you know. She says, "Excuse me, gentlemen, you're here to visit Mr. Houlihan, is it?"
Yes, we were investigating the incidents within the mines and stuff, and we were told that Mr. Houlihan might be able to help in our investigation.
You see this lady kind of she's very nicely dressed. She has a nice green dress on, but she does have a kind of white embroidered apron embroidered with little flowery floral patterns on it, and she's wearing a pearly necklace and a matching green hat with her dress, and golden curls of hair kind of fall down onto her shoulders, and she gives you a little smile. Professor Miles says, "Investigating? How exciting! Please, Mr. Houlihan, he's always asleep during the day. Would you like to come in for a cup of tea? I might be able to help you with your investigation."
Do we get the feeling she's just a nosy busybody, or that she might actually know something?
So Ulick, you would know this lady as Nancy Harris. She is the local busybody, but she, even though she is a gossip, she does actually, from time to time, can be a reliable source of kind of inside scoops.
I mean, he's all for scoops inside.
Yes.
If that's what's happening.
You said the trigger word. You said it.
You go, all right, well, sure, look at Nancy. Good to see you again.
Oh, Ulick, I didn't know that was you. And she kind of gives this kind of little grimace for a second. I think, "Please do wipe your feet when you come in, yes?" And she kind of...
Shots fired.
If only it was his feet that was dirty right now.
Well,
He's still covered in
He's
soot.
still covered in soot, so...
We an arm like this.
He's got two.
He's got an extra joint in the middle between the
Two
fucking elbow
elbows.
and the wrist.
She ushers you in off the street and leads you into the kitchen where you smell something baking in there, something sweet. And she says, "I just
Bacon pancakes.
just finished making some pie. Actually, would you care for a slice and perhaps maybe a cup of tea?" Where are my manners? Nancy Harris, pleasure to meet you. And you are?
Yes, my manners as well. I apologize, Miss Harris. I am Professor Montgomery Miles.
Professor? Oh, how impressive! And what institution would you be coming from?
Well, I mean, I tend to spend my time around Trinity and the likes in the capital.
Very nice indeed. And
Doing
what
a
are you-
study on me.
Oh,
I am, yes.
I see.
It's all linked to do with the investigation, you see.
I see. And what exactly is it you're investigating? I'm very excited about all this.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you've heard of the goings on with.
It's horrible business. That horrible business.
Indeed, and I just as a curious mind, I found it very perplexing that this gentleman's cattle just upped and left, and he's not heard anything back, and he's not received his cattle back. So yes, it seems like a rather strange affair, and it seems that it seems to be centering around these mines.
And as she's kind of retrieving a the apple pie from the stove with a tea towel in her hand. She kind of just sets it on the table. Well, I dare say he can't do much worrying about his cattle while he's in prison now, can he?
Well, I mean, yes, that's part of the investigation as well, is to see whether it was indeed, self-defense, or whether it was a deliberate act and stuff. Tell me, you seem to be very knowledgeable. I guess you grew up here, did you?
Oh, all my life, yes. I would, and she'd be a bit older than you. You like she'd be a lady in her kind of 40s, and but you can kind of collaborate that you've known her just as long as you've been here. So she has been a part of the community for as long as you can remember, for sure.
May I just say, first and foremost, it is an absolute delight to meet you, Miss Harris, and also that this pie smells absolutely fantastic.
Oh, well, don't eat any yet. Let me get you some tea.
Oh, thank you very much.
Prepares that for you, and as she's kind of setting the kettle on the stove, she says,
I use the bathroom.
"Oh yes, of course. It's just down the hall. It's the first on the left there."
Thanks.
So, Professor Miles, I must say I'm rather enthralled by the goings on in the village as of late. It's not very often something like this happens. No, I was wondering what exactly is. Was it really young Eugene Grace that murdered this poor man, Jack Sullivan?
Well, I'll be honest and say to you that there are some of the details that I haven't been privy to. Having not been part of the local constabulary.
Do you have any other suspects? Anyone else in mind?
Well, you see, we don't have right now, but that's what I'm hoping to find out. Now, as you are an acute woman
And do you
yourself,
think it's actually murder though, or was it? Did he actually kill him?
Well, if things are led to believe that I've heard throughout the town, it seems that the farmer was attacked. So therefore, my argument would be best that maybe it would be self-defense, if nothing else. But this is why I'm actually glad. I'm so glad to have met you today.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. And she's kind of waving a tea towel over the now boiling kettle.
As an absolute outstanding member of the community, I bet that you would be best served to give me any information about these gentlemen and their tendencies and stuff, and maybe even some insider knowledge.
Oh, you flatter me. I've heard bits and pieces, but I suppose I don't really know any. That Eugene Grace, he was always a very nice young fellow. I wouldn't pin him as the type to murder someone, even in self-defense. Poor boy, I'd say is beside himself with worry over what will become of him. But I was now, between myself and yourself, Professor, I have always felt that man next door, that I do believe he's a suspect of yours. You wouldn't go knocking on his door. The police have. I have seen them through my window. But that Peter Houlihan, he's been acting very suspiciously as of late.
Oh, how so?
Well, he sleeps during the day. He's put that rather unsightly amount of newspaper on his windows, as if the curtains weren't enough, But even still, a bit of light kind of flickers through the window, through the newspapers at night. He's obviously spending his waking hours at night time and sleeping during the day. It's a rather sorry state of affairs. The poor fellow, he must be suffering from some sort of malady or something. I'm not too au fait with anything of the medical nature, but.
And tell me, has he had any visitors recently?
Other than the police, I'm not quite sure, but I know that Jack would have been a very close friend of his, and they were very outspoken as well about how that drilling operation back 2 years ago in 1917, when these outsiders, as they called them, kind of came in and started poking around where their fathers and grandfathers had once worked. So I think that rubbed them up the wrong way, and I suppose that was when Jack was Jack spent most of his time with Peter in kind of
So there was a bit of contestation between them and these interlopers, as it were, that were trying to milk the mine.
Well, as it were, the mines were once the primary source of jobs in the locality back in the 17th century, but up until the 1870s, the crash in the metal prices, the mines closed, and but here's another little interesting bit of information: is that I don't think I've heard now. Of course, I'm still quite a young woman. I wouldn't have been around
of course
back in
you
those
are, my
times,
dear.
but I have heard that there was a little bit more to it than that. That it wasn't just a crash in prices. That there was some sort of incident in the mines. But I don't know too much. But I can tell you who might know a little bit more is a lovely elderly lady in the village, Kathleen O'Mara. She is the wife of one of the original miners back in the 1870s. Indeed, yes. So he sadly passed away 4 years ago, but I believe she might have a little bit of information for you.
You say you're very convincingly said that you didn't know too much information, which means in my line of work, at least when I've spoken to people that say, "Oh, I don't know too much," you actually know a little bit more than they're letting on. So, what other little tidbits could you give me?
Well, this coming from the man who said himself that he hasn't been given too much information himself. Is there anything else in relation to the investigation that you might be able to relay to me? I fancy myself a bit of a writer. I'd like to form a bit of fiction out of this mystery in our local village.
Oh, I see. Okay. What would I be able to give you for your scandalous books? How about the fact that some people say it was actually a puka that has caused this whole thing to go on?
She immediately looks at the bathroom door. I'm familiar with the stories of the puka.
There is some evidence to prove that maybe that is possible. There has been bacon going missing from places where it seems to have not disappeared.
Smash open, almost like a Kramer like entrance.
And she kind of jumps a little bit while she's kind of holding the teacup to hand it to Professor.
I thought it wasn't. Did somebody
No.
say something about the poker?
Oh, we're just swapping theories as to the goings on of the town. That's all.
Well, people have been talking about a bit of a spectre that seems to come around the periphery of the village every now and again. They've probably heard of stories of An Fear Gealach, the Moonlight Man, as it were.
Oh no, not at all.
That's just another name for poker. Don't worry about that. It all goes back to the poker. Come here to me. Is that cream pie ready yet? I'd love some.
Oh yes. Here you go, Ulick. She hands you a nice kind of chunk of the pie.
No, Miss Harris. I just coming back to our friend next door. You haven't seen him leave, so you believe him to be still in the residence right now?
Oh yes. During the day he never leaves. I can't imagine the frightful state his residence must be in if he's not keeping a kind of a daytime approach, as right. I can only imagine what he's doing in there at nighttime, burning the midnight oil, as it were. I don't know, but I'd say all he's doing in there is drinking. I'd say the house is in a dreadful state.
My dear, I'd say such things are not for such a beautiful young lady as yourself to be thinking or worrying about.
Oh, you stop it, you.
If there is anything you happen to hear or see or anything of the like, then please feel free to ask me around town. I'm sure we can swap some stories. Maybe I can give you some stories from back in the city as well. That might add to your intrigue.
That would be delightful. And she kind of sits down at the table and pours herself a cup of tea. It's like, well, tell me more of your studies and some of your exploits up in Trinity College. And as you begin to entertain that piece of that part of the conversation, I'm going to jump back to Charlie and Benson, who have, in the meantime, since arrived in the village again. And you would have thought that Ulick and Professor Miles would be back by now, but the house is unoccupied. And as Cahill turns the key to open the door, a chicken just flies out the front door and soot kind of dispersed everywhere. He's like, what in blazes has happened here?
What the hell is that?
Blasted chicken. Get it? Oh my goodness, the place is destroyed with soot. What in earth has
Why
happened
do you
here?
have a chicken for a pet?
I think Charlie would have thought it was the poop coming out. He would have.
This is ridiculous. This is McGowan's chicken. Oh, never mind, gentlemen. I'm not sure where the other folks are. I'll tidy this mess up. Don't worry about it.
Oh dear God! How the hell did that thing get in there? He started looking up at the roof.
Benson's going to walk in and look and say, "It looks like it came in through the window. No footprints on the floor."
God, it's after making a lot of mess. The boys are still out looking around.
I can point you in the direction of Houlihan's houses if you wish, but unless there's anyone else you wanted to go, I'm not quite sure where the others might be.
I'm after just expanding on the list of things that we may potentially have bought.
Yeah,
Annie and all of the various things I put down, like torches,
I see that in
gloves,
there.
hard hats, ropes, axes, pry bars. If we can grab ladders, buckets, matches, food, water rations, etc. So I think the idea is that Charlie's thinking we're going up into the mines. The mines might be caved in. We might have to dig down. We'll have to go underground.
You will not be able to procure the dynamite.
Absolutely fine. Yeah, I know we're in a very, very small town, so that's a super wish list. And like I say, yeah, bigger bits can be brought into a car up as far, like ladders and stuff, and then smaller bits.
Like everything else seems relatively okay, but yeah, you can't just rock on into a general store. 2 sticks of dynamite, man.
Hello, I'd like to buy your dynamite, please, and maybe a cannon to fire it out of. So that's fine, and I think.
Point me to your rocket launcher oil.
And Acme TNT.
Yeah.
Barrel.
Charlie will probably start busying himself putting this stuff into like packs or getting this.
Getting yourself organized.
Yeah, I think the next part of our plan is probably to wait for are we waiting for the guys in going up? They're going to go to Peter Houlihan's.
We think they're in Peter Houlihan's.
As far as we're concerned, they're over there talking.
Yeah.
We're just kind of waiting for them to come back, and then we're going to go up to the mine. There was nothing else. I'll start packing the car. Is there anything else, Benson, that we need to do before we head off? Did I get books read? I got through all of the books and the information we got.
You've got matches for the torches.
I do indeed, yes. Well, the battery-powered torches, click, click, click. But yes, we have, I suppose, there's a box of candles as well, just in case the batteries run out, so we have to light stuff out as well. And yes, we'll just get these packed in. Can we borrow the car? Can we borrow the car and head up? And maybe Charlie would have brought his own car.
Benson would have wanted to try and get some bells and string.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. We can say you could procure that in town as well.
Thread, black thread or whatever.
If Charlie has his own motor vehicle, then that's totally fine.
I think he might
he
have
is
had one.
a man of reasonable wealth.
Charlie and Benson rolled up in the Merc. Ew.
The Bentley, Benson and his Bentley.
So when you get back to the Sullivan household, you spend a bit of time just kind of packing that stuff, and Cahill has had the time to clean up after the chicken, or what he believes was the chicken, and as you're in the kind of the living room, Charlie, you're kind of packing the bag in as neat and organized as you possibly can for quick accessibility, and Benson, you're in the kitchen with Cahill as he's boiling up the kettle after, and you can see patches of soot on his shirt, and he's kind of brow is sweating a bit from all the sweeping, the shoveling, and all that kind of crack. And he says, Benson, well, we've stumbled across quite a bit of information this morning. I dare say we'll have a lot of notes to swap with the others. I'm not sure what to expect next out of all of this. To be honest with you, I'm quite perturbed. I think a good sugary cup of tea will settle the nerves. Tea, by the way?
Yes, tea. We'll have tea, and then you settle your nerves, I settle mine. And I think Houlihan may be our last thread to pull at this story.
I believe so. A very suspicious character indeed. One moment, please. I'll just offer. He has 2 cups in his hand. I'll offer one to Mr. Mitchell as well, and he excuses himself.
Are there any newspapers or any documents or like magazines or anything about here?
Yeah, I'm sure there would be. Yeah.
Benson, when he goes to make the tea, Benson's putting them up, up his shirt.
Okay.
And tucking the shirt back in, kind of like a makeshift stab protection thing.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So there'd be more newspapers than anything else, but yeah. Layered, yeah. And so after he offers you tea, Benson, he excuses himself, and 2 cups and saucers in his hands, and you see him come into the room, Charlie, and he approaches you with the cup, and he goes, Mr. Mitchell, a shaky hand, he goes, release me, offering you the teacup.
Oh yes, thank you very much. Charlie just takes it and puts it down and gets back to his business and is pottering away at the bags, tidying things up. How do you think it's all going? You don't mind us leaving here for a while to up to the maps, to the mountains, and he's pottering away.
Like, how do you mean?
Well, just I know you've been involved, and we're gonna tip up there and leave you down here. It's obviously things are still unreleased or unsolved. So we know you're leaving you here on your own. We're dipping up the road. You're okay here.
I should be more than fine. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I can't remember if Benson was privy to that info. The release me line.
You can make a listen roll if you think you're keeping that sharp of an ear out. I'll allow it.
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
That was some stuff right there.
But no. It was the voice, and whose head was it? Had the voice?
Charlie's.
No, yeah, that was 8-level stuff like Stephen King.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter if he heard it because he didn't tell us about it.
No, he did because he said, "Did you guys hear that voice?" And we
doesn't matter. 61 out of 30.
No, you were too busy patting yourself. You didn't hear anything.
Hear the rustle of magazines. So
you were obviously deflecting that, but internally, how did Charlie kind of react to that?
I think, initially he was just kind of like, he's very, very kind of like, he's 4th or 5th generation in Ireland now, and he's kind of like, he's more kind of Irish farmer than he is British upper class, but he's very much has that, like, he can still keep going externally and take something internally, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
you hit that, and basically just 404 page missing internally. His mouth just kept going with like,
and you did kind of notice that Cahill seemed to just be very nonchalant.
Yes, so I think his brain is like processing it.
He just said it and just acted normally and carried on conversation.
And I think he's, as I say, he starts, as he's going, he's packing, he's babbling, he's like, we're leaving you here. And then like he's put down the cup of tea at this stage.
Yeah.
And he's just going to turn up and kind of like, I think he's probably, I don't even know how he's going to react. He's going to like kind of turn and take a look at Cahill. What's Cahill's expression? Can I do
that would be a psychology roll.
Yes, is there a D&D? Is there a Call of Cthulhu? So just to clarify for anyone that's not picked up on that, obviously whoever's listening at this stage has hopefully listened to the episodes leading up to this. But just to recap,
go back and listen.
If you want to go back. Now that you've gone back, you would have heard that as we arrived into town, Charlie failed some sort of a roll and just heard whispering as we drove into town, he looked out over the Silvermines, heard someone whisper, "Release me," which disturbed him greatly. And now this dude is after saying this directly to him as he hands him a cup of tea. Sorry, what did you say the role is going to be?
Psychology.
Shit your pants roll.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a psychology of 10, which means on a D100, I have to roll less than 10 to pass.
10 or under. You get
10 or under, yes. 20.
Take 10 luck, take 10 luck, take 10 luck, take 10 luck.
How much luck have I got? I've got 45 luck. I'm gonna take 10 luck. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
And don't forget to put a tick next to psychology.
Oh yeah, I will do that now. You can still do that even though you've like.
So normal rules, if you spend luck to make it a success, you don't tick it. But this is a special Mark rule because I love you all and I want you to do well.
Because Mark sounds. Did I mention how sound Mark was? What a great chap he is, an excellent keeper.
I love you all, and I want you to get to the end so I can destroy you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now is not the time for fear. That comes later.
I didn't tick
Oh yeah, if you succeeded anything, just tick it away.
Oh yeah, blood it.
Tick it away now.
So yeah, he slowly turns around. He's packing. He gets hit with the release me, and it kind of, as I say, it goes in. He's kind of frazzled. It keeps babbling away, and slowly turns around and kind of straightens up and looks this dude in the face.
Yeah, you're kind of getting a read on him, and his body languages remain the same. His facial expressions remain the same. His tone of speech, pace of speech, nothing different about the way he's behaving. It almost makes you feel like, did I even hear him right? Did I actually hear what I just heard? Like, because he's not acting any differently. He's very much being, talking about the case and business as usual. Is our Carl Sullivan.
Okay.
But it did seem out of place. He just came into the room, cup of tea, release me, and then just like, well, what's the plan now?
Okay, yeah, I think Charlie is just going to be like, oh yes, well, I'm nearly finished here. Benson, you could give me a hand here, could you?
Yes, of course. What do you need?
Just going to start loading the stuff out of the car. Thanks very much, Carl. We'll get back to you now.
Very well, gentlemen. Please, I'll be here all night. If you stumble across any more pertinent information, you know where to find me.
Fantastic. Yes, we'll just load up the car, and when the boys come back, we'll let you know how it's going, and we'll touch base again.
When we're putting the stuff into the car, I want to do the Ireland. Benson's just giving it the, he wants to see around him. Same thing.
You want to do which?
Perimeter check. He's just seeing if there's anybody noticing us loading up the car.
Okay.
I also want to note that Charlie did not drink the tea.
Gotcha. Good to know.
Very important.
As you're loading up the car, you're kind of getting like the odd stare from people walking down. Like, it's still early off in the day. It's only 1 o'clock in the day, I'd say, at this point in time. So there's people out and about on the street kind of doing their own, like, they kind of stare at you a little bit, but not. They don't scrutinize you either, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're out of towners. They see you as such, and they kind of probably are curious as to your business here, especially. Well, they kind of have an idea, seeing as you're linked to Carl Sullivan and he's the brother of the recently deceased person found on the mountain trail. But they're probably naturally curious, but they may as well be kind of coming right up into your face and just staring you out of it because the eyes kind of bore into you at times. But they're not like trying to get a read on what exactly you're doing. They're just like, I wonder what they must be up to, in a kind of innocent kind of, well, a nosy kind of way. But
street theater in small towns. This is his house, and we're two strangers loading.
Precisely, yeah.
As soon as I get Benson and we're going out loading the car, I am just going to 100% turn around. Benson, I don't know if you remember when we arrived into town, and there was I was feeling, and this sounds great. Started to sound like a friend Ulick now. I don't know if I mentioned, but I heard a whisper. Not like someone was whispering to me, but it's like it was inside my head. Someone said, "Release me." Did I mention that? Or did I recall this to you?
I believe you did. Yes.
It's strange. I kind of feel like I'm going crazy now. I swear to God, when Call walked in, he said, "Release me," and then handed me the cup of tea.
Well, why don't we press him?
Yes, I've taken the measure of the man, and he doesn't seem, he didn't act unusual. He didn't say it as if he was going to pursue anything, but maybe...
What I've read and what I've experienced, most times the unusual likes to be blanketed or masked. Let's just point the pistol at him and see what falls out of him.
Well, I was you think? Well, yeah. Why
And
not?
Cahill's still in the house, is he?
He's still in the house. Yeah.
That's right. Benson's just going to walk in with Charlie behind him. Pistol half drawn, out.
Charlie kind of follows.
And Benson's reaching into his inside pocket, and brass knuckles crosses on them. He's walking in, and you can hear like a jangle of chains. And inside his left hand, the left hand part of his jacket, it's just chains all coiled up. And a wee small censure falls out, just as if it's connected. Like he could whip it towards you or something.
Okay.
He's gonna walk in, slam the door against the wall, and just point it towards Charlie and say, "Have you got anything else to tell us before we leave?"
You mean you're pointing at a Cahill?
Cahill, not Charlie. Yes, not Charlie. Charlie, I love you, Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. Point it back at Cahill.
So Benson, you're standing in the doorway of the kitchen, pointing your gun. Is it a revolver?
Oh, a 6-shot revolver. Yeah.
You're pointing your revolver at Cahill, and he just drops the teacup, puts up his hands. Back at Nancy Harris's house,
You son of a bitch.
I love doing that. Back at Nancy Harris's house, Professor Miles, you spent the last maybe 20 minutes entertaining Nancy on just some of your lectures and some of your research notes or kind of previous research field work that you've done, just kind of entertaining her more than anything else. And you've just about finished your pie and tea, and she says, "Well, gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the pie, and I'm very, very happy to have stumbled into your company and made your acquaintance, particularly yourself, Professor. Quite a learned and interesting gentleman, if I do say so."
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. Not as much as I appreciated that pie. That was rather delicious. Thank you very much.
Of course, any time, and don't forget now when you've reached the conclusion of this grand mystery around our religion, when you no doubt publicate the findings of your research, you will know who to acknowledge as part of helping out in your investigations, won't you?
Oh, trust me, there will be special notice for you. But obviously, as I said before, keep me in mind if you hear of anything else.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to. But as I said, yes, after sundown would be a much better time to try and contact Mr. Houlihan. But you should reach out to that Kathleen O'Mara lady. She might be able to tell you more about the history of those mines.
I'll stop you there now. Come here to me now. What should we just knock on this door after dark? Will he let us in there?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying you have more of a chance of him being more receptive.
You'll be in his neighbour now. Did he ever give you a spare key?
Not at all, nor would I take it. As I said, the house is probably in a dreadful state. I would rue the day I step foot in it.
Do you know if he has any dodgy windows or back doors or any?
I can't say.
Is his chimney open by any chance?
I could not say. These are all quite. Is this some sort of line of questioning befitting of investigators? Is it?
No, it's a test.
Is that right?
To see how good a neighbour you are.
It seems like you've been doing a bit of chimney sweeping today, Ulick, have you?
And Ulick would have probably been that guy. When he's filthy, he would have rubbed his face in the wet grass. So it's like there's still soot around the edge of his face. But the fucking most of it's clean, and just the palms of his hands are clean, and the rest of it's filthy. But yeah, Sonny's like,
you know yourself, Miss Harris. You have to do a job, you have to make money, and from what I can tell, Mr. O'Shea here is a very hardworking.
I wasn't sweeping any chimneys. I was in the coal cellar.
Monty just starts shaking his head like,
Well, very, very good. Well, gentlemen, if there's nothing else, I would happy to invite you back here again sometime. And please, after your investigation is concluded, Professor, you're more than welcome to come back.
I'd be delighted.
Absolutely, and it'd be lovely to meet Mr. Harris as well.
Oh, Frank, yes, he's well, Ulick, you would know him. He's kind of working as a banker in Nina, so Nancy has never really had to work.
He's quite the banker, all right.
Well, we won't keep you any longer, Miss Harris. I appreciate your time and your patience and your hospitality.
Pleasure, gentlemen. She kind of holds up a limp fish hand towards you, Professor.
I take it and the respectful peck on the knuckles kind of thing, and good day to you.
You see a smile dress her face, and she'll see you gentlemen out. And it's just gone 1 in the afternoon. Roughly around the same time, Benson Cartwright stands in the kitchen threshold pointing his revolver at Cathal Sullivan as you guys step out into the street of the Silvermines, not 5 minutes away from the house. And it has begun to rain, an icy cold rain. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight, or for today, or for whatever time of the day it is you're listening.
To it, yeah.
Now.
And yes, and once again, I'd like to say thanks to each and every one of our fine investigators this evening for another entertaining episode. And of course,
Thank you very much.
And of course, a thank you to our listeners also.
Can I just say that moment was fucking spectacular.
That was.
That was some Stephen King It level stuff.
I just seen Dave and me on the camera like, oh, how long? Go back 3 chapters. Who said that?
I was stunned. I was like, wait, was that a DM slip, or was that put in there? And then I was like, oh,
no
shit.
such thing as a DM slip at Mark.
No.
It was it was amazing.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Don't forget, if you're liking what you're hearing, give us a like and a follow, and you can catch us at the Emerald Collective Podcast on Twitch and on Discord as well. So do join along if you want to be part of the party, with the occasional one-shot thrown in there too. Thanks very much, everyone. Love to you all. See you again next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.